Let's start off this round with 2 bad news cards. I really don't enjoy drawing 2 of these. Sick and tired. The villain force revealed the longest, who can attack the active SOI, so that would be Amethyst, attacks. Note that the villain force may still attack during the combat phase. Well, the Yeti over here has a range of 0. Can't attack. Spyro is over here. He can't attack. His range is only 1. There's no one within range of 1. Unless he hack attacked? I don't know. It doesn't. I would assume it's an attack, not a hack attack. Since this is the first mission and I lost the last time I played this, I'm going to play that has no effect because I don't know exactly what else I would do here. I could be wrong. Probably that's not the case, but we'll go with it. If you look here, we only have these 2 villains revealed. So yeah, I don't know what else we would do. I'll make sure and put any notes if I get any comments from the designer or from anybody else. I'll put notes in the description in this video to let you know all the things that I did wrong so that you can know when you're playing it if you played it right. Let's see what the second one is. We have consolidate gangs. Oh yeah, another gang one. All uncontrolled gangs are flipped to control gang sides. There aren't any. All damage to gangs are healed. All gangs tokens are out of disarray. If there are no uncontrolled gangs, one is revealed and flipped to controlled and moved to the active SOI or the streets if no active SOI. We're going to go ahead and play to neutralize this. Play to neutralize this because we have a community center. So these gangs are starting to come together, but all of a sudden they find out that the YMCA is way better to hang out at than to play with John Frost. So we do this to prevent a gang from entering play at all. I don't want to deal with gangs. From there, we will reveal our villain force. And now, you guys, I officially have the YMCA stuck in my head. We have Saint Nick. That's great. Opportunistic. Attacks for 5. Holy moly. Okay, only a range of 1. Goes into the suburbs. Oh, great, right where Delphi is. It says, sidekicks may not be in their secret identity while Nick is active. I'm assuming that means since he's active, we immediately have to move out of our secret identity. So Delphi no longer can be her secret identity. I'm thinking thematically he can track us down that way, maybe? Yeah, attacks for 5, and his health is 5 with 2 shield. Oh, and we just used our Xeonite blaster, which would have killed him one-shotted. Oh well. Remember, we can't even hit him anyways until we get rid of this Yeti. So I got to do that first. Or at least hack attack him so I could go at St. Nick. Amethyst is our active SOI, so we'll start with her. She's going to take 2 steps and move into the streets. She will then gather some information. She gets a one-shot. Play on any gang. We can rotate them. We have not had problems with gangs this round, so that's great, but we don't really need that. We cannot change to secret identity form. We're going to go ahead and populate supply lines. Yeah, I got to keep both cards, and you're going to see why. I think for doing anything this round, I think we're not going to do anything. We're just going to sit there. That's all we're going to do. So Commissioner Jones is next. We're going to have him come to the Uptown, and we're going to go ahead and gather some information at Uptown. Oh, we get a lead. That's great. Library visit. When you draw from a location, draw an extra card. Choose one you want. Put the other one on the bottom of the location deck. That's actually a really nice ability. We have to stay in hero form. I'm going to pass both of our leads over to Delphi. We only have 2 cards, so I'm going to give both of them to Delphi, hoping that maybe she can do something with them. For Delphi's turn, we got to get ourselves out of range of St. Nick. So we're also going to move over here to Uptown. We will then draw a card. We have hit the books. Choose, rotate 1 gang, or 1 thug, or 1 minion. Ooh, yes, this is great. I really don't like Spyro, so during our execute phase, we're going to go ahead and hit the books. So we can choose and rotate 1 thug or minion up to 180 degrees. He is a minion, I believe. Yep. So he now will not attack during the attack phase, which is great. Because, yeah, that's the whole reason why Amethyst had to keep her cards, because she was probably going to get hack attacked and then get regular attacked. Now that's not going to happen. Something else that I want you guys to know that I haven't talked about is if ever you're in the same location, you can always share cards. You don't need to use the supply lines. I haven't really had that happen much, but so technically they could have shared cards here, and I believe that they can share as many cards as they want if they're in the same location, even if we're limited to 2 with the supply lines, because we're not using the supply lines action. We're just simply trading cards because we're in the same location. I'm handing off my gun, she's handing off her sweet-looking computer, something like that. So we're going to go ahead and move to the combat phase. This thug who's been out the whole game, he's just chilling downtown. We're ignoring him. He doesn't attack. His range is 0. We have this. This is Spyro, but he's in disarray, so we don't have to worry about him. Saint Nick is over here. His range is 1. 1, 1, 1. Nobody is there. And then we already know that this Yeti, he has a range of 0, so no attacks. Then we'll do our sidekick attacks. We're going to go ahead and use Commissioner Jones. We're going to use his scope here, and we'll rotate it 90 degrees. We can use this 3 times, and that means we can attack the Yeti for a whopping 2 attack. But before I do that, I forgot about the hack attacks. Delphi is in hero form. Why would I not do that? She's going to hack attack Saint Nick. So her total hack attack is 1. Plus the 2 from her hacker ability, so that's 3. Plus 1 because of that turning translator, so that's 4. Her 4 total hack attack, minus 1 is 3. He gets put into disarray. She totally posts a picture of him looking like Santa Claus, and everyone comes to his house thinking they want to hang out with him and get pictures with their kids. And he's going, oh my gosh, come on, why is this happening? So he has to deal with all of this, and because of that, he's totally out of commission for the next 3 rounds. I'm telling you, Delphi is awesome. The hack attacks are totally underrated. In the meantime, Commissioner Jones is going to plunk away at the Yeti's 3 health. He attacked for 2. We had 1 armor, so he does 1 point of damage. He can do that for 2 more rounds and actually take the Yeti out. So that's not bad. And last but not least, Amethyst, who is 1 range away from Spyro, is going to use her one-shot Blackbird Bolt, and she's going to use this for discarded to get plus 2 attack on 1 attack. Her attack is 4. He has 1 shield and 2 health. Gone. I love it. Well, the city is looking pretty good. We only have 2 villains out and 1 thug. Saint Nick is totally distracted. I do need to rotate him 90 degrees, which I'll do in a second. The Yeti has 1 out of the 3 points of damage. I'm not sad. So I'm going to rotate Saint Nick, and then we'll end this round. He probably called for some backup. So let's go ahead and move him. He will be like this for this round and the next round, and then he'll be back trying to wreak havoc. Starting off this round, we'll start with our bad news. We've got recruiting. Flip the top Rincom Labs card. If it's a scientist, they defect. Destroy that scientist. Otherwise, put that card on the bottom of the Rincom Labs deck. Oh, that's kind of cool. All right, here it is. It's Dark Energy Lance. Requires 2 scientists. This item gives the sidekicks plus 5 on an attack. Really? That is what... Oh, that's going on the bottom of our deck. We can get that with our X-ray vision, but we need 2 scientists for it. Let me think about that. I've got 1, and we could switch to what that's being used for. Okay, I've got ideas. I love it. We'll now flip our final level 3 villain, and we've got Mrs. Claus, which is totally awesome. Mrs. Claus always hack attacks the SOI. Oh, so she hack attacks for 4 too. So she'll always do Vengeful. She'll always do Amethyst. We've got to remember that unless we change who's on top. I need to get Delphi up on top if I can. Because 4, we still have... Yeah, we have plus 3 defense. So we would actually block that attack if we were on top. She is in Uptown. Starting off with Amethyst, I think we're going to move ourselves 1, 2, come into the suburbs. That's where St. Nick is, but remember, he's disarrayed. We are then going to gather, right, that's the next one. Yep, gather resources. So we'll draw on any villain, minion, or thug, reduce any stat by 2 other than hit points to a minimum of 0 for that entire turn. That is awesome. I think then for this round, we are going to flip ourselves into secret identity form. We can do that because don't forget that St. Nick is at disarray, so he is not considered active. We'll then draw a lead card, and we get Stash. Draw a card from any other sidekick's location. Yeah, we've seen that card. Next is Commissioner Jones. We're going to leave him where he is. He's not going to move. He's simply going to gather some resources. He gets a lead. Okay, when you draw from a location, draw an extra card. That's a nice one. The planetarium visit. During the populate supply lines, we're going to go ahead and give this to Delphi because we give to Delphi, which is great. For Delphi's turn, I think we're going to go ahead and move ourselves over here to the Rincon Labs. Then we'll gather some resources. So we're going to draw. Oh, wait, before we draw, what we're going to do is, since we have the X-ray specs, when drawing from a location, the Sidekick may first look at the bottom card of that location, and you can choose to draw that instead. Yes, please. So we're going to go ahead and grab that bottom card that we looked at that gives us +5 attack, but we need 2 scientists. I told you we have one that's out already that's boosting our hack attack. We can potentially get rid of that later and actually use the scientist for something else and then just discard that turning translator. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but at least we know we have 1 scientist. And I almost forgot, we have a second scientist as well in our hand. So we could... Yeah, because... Okay, so we've done our gather resources. We're going to stay in the hero identity. We can pass 2 cards over to Amethyst. And I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and pass the Dark Energy Lance and this scientist. I wish I could send the other scientist that's out already, but I can't. I can only send 2 cards. So I'm going to send that during the populate supply lines. And then, since I'm in my hero form, instead of doing anything like playing cards from my hand, all I'm going to do is push myself to the top of the SOI track. I have the least damage of all of the players, so it kind of seems to make the most sense. And that hack attack, we could soak that, which is pretty cool. Speaking of which, we're going to go into the combat phase. We're going to first do our hack attacks. So Delphi has 4. She has a resistance of 3, so it's only going to slow her down a little bit, but this means she will not hack attack us during the combat phase. Now going to the villain attack phase, you can see both of them are in disarray. And the Yeti doesn't have anyone to attack. I love that range 0. So they won't attack. And then Commissioner Jones will use his range again. So I think we have 3 uses of this. So we've used it a second time now with our scope. And our third time we can use it will hopefully defeat the Yeti. Thank you, scope. That will end the round. Both of these are going to rotate. So the biggest thing is, if I do give that scientist to Amethyst, then we're not going to get that +1 for our hacking. That means we won't be able to hack Miss Claus because of her 3 defense. So I have to decide if that's worth it. Maybe I'll just try and dig through that Rincon Labs to try and find another scientist. To start our bad news phase, we've got 2 more cards, and you guys, this is going to be the end of the afternoon. We're running out of time. But John Frost will be revealed. We've got Strange Hack. A hack attack of 2 is immediately initiated against all sidekicks. A failure to defend. Okay, we've seen this before. Delphi is fine. Oh no. Commissioner Jones doesn't have anything in his hand, so he's going to have to discard the scope. We were using that to kill that Yeti. Bummer. And then Amethyst is going to have to discard, which shouldn't be the end of the world. I think what we're going to do is simply discard this gang division intel. I mean, if you look at these other ones, I don't want to discard the scientist, the dark energy. I want to get this lead over to Delphi, and I don't want to discard the research. So, yeah. Our second card is, okay, just another thug, Bob. Bob moves to the warehouse district, and then he will be attacking warehouse, though it's 0 range. So, that's not terrible. Here we go, end of Act 2. John Frost is going to show up. And we have powers. During the combat phase, John directs all active villain forces who wouldn't attack normally. And we've confirmed, I have seen this on BGG, that's just that Ozymandias. It's basically saying that he'll attack. If no subordinate villain forces are active, John himself attacks during the combat phase. So he's actually not going to attack until all the other enemies are gone. He's kind of like, they said he's kind of like Thanos, which, yeah, that makes sense. He is a 7 attack, range 2, 3 defense, 2 hacking. He's not going to be able to be hacked, really. And he has 10 hit points. Ouch. He'll also be at the Rincon Lab, so I'll put this in the Rincon Lab. Moving to the sidekick phase, we'll start with Delphi. She'll go ahead and stay right where she's at because John Frost will not attack right now because there's other villains out. So she'll just gather resources. She found dark energy. Requires 1 scientist. Put this item into play. For this sidekick, while in play, all gangs cannot attack you. You can still search here and attack them. Thugs, minions, and villains lose 1 range when it's trying to hit you. Range 0 can always hit you, except gangs. Keep in play. Whoa, that's really cool, but that's not a scientist. Ugh. I think I need to stay in hero form because what I would like to do is hack the Yeti so that then we can move Commissioner Jones in there and take him out. So yeah, I think I'm going to stay there. It's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. Next, we're going to have Amethyst go. So I think we're going to move her over here to the Rincon Labs as well. Come on, have there be another scientist. Yes, another scientist. Okay, that'll go to her hand. She's going to go ahead and flip herself into hero form. Then what we're going to do is with the supply, populate supply lines, she'll give this stash. Actually, she's in the same spot as Delphi, so she's just going to give this to Delphi. The reason why is if you look at Delphi's hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's got 6 leads. I need 2 more, and I can get that really awesome hidden heroic item. So yeah, 6 leads. I will take that. Just 2 more. We can now play during the execute phase our Dark Energy Lance. So this requires 2 scientists. We have them. This item gives the sidekick +5 on an attack. When used, discard the lance, but keep the scientist. So then we can use the scientist for something else, which is kind of cool. Commissioner Jones is going to go next. We'll move him into the caves here. We will then gather some intel. We'll discard this card to gain 2 hit points. Healing water. I think we will be using that on him right away. We could pass cards. Yeah, no cards I want to pass. I want to keep the healing card. And I think that's the only card that we have, and I think that's the one that we're going to play. We're going to play this. Right now we have 6 damage on us, so we're going to move that down to 4 damage. Moving into the combat phase, Delphi is going to go ahead and do the hack attack on the Yeti. So her attack is 4. He prevents 1, so he'll go 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, he's totally hacked up. Then we'll move to the villain attack phase. The villain, she will always hack attack the SOI. So she's going to hack attack Delphi. Her defense is 4. Her attack is 4. Nothing happens. Love it. Then, during our combat phase, we have Commissioner Jones in the spot with the Yeti. He's going to attack 2. We got 1 defense. That will take out the Yeti. That'll push him up as being the highest SOI, but we just took out another minion. We'll push up Commander Jones to the top, like so. Amethyst is 1 step away from Miss Claus. Miss Claus has 2 shield with 5, so she needs a total of 7 attack. She does have that range 1. We are going to use our Dark Lance to add +5, so our total attack is 7, just enough to take her out. But then when we use this, we discard the Lance, but we'll keep the Scientist. That does mean, though, another one bites the dust. I decided to do Miss Claus because Saint Nick, we can have Delphi just totally handle him every time. I mean, with only 1 prevention of hack attack, we can just keep telling kids that he's Santa Claus, and so he keeps having to deal with that instead of working for John Frost. This will now push Amethyst, though, up to the top of the SOI track. So now we look at this powers for John Frost. During the combat phase, John directs all active villain forces who wouldn't attack normally to attack. If no subordinate villain forces are active, John himself attacks during the combat phase. So we had active villains, so we didn't have to worry about that this round. But if Saint Nick was inactive, like I'm hoping he'll be next round, John Frost will actually attack during the villain phase. We're now going to move to the end of the round, and Saint Nick is going to ready. He is fully ready and ready to take us out again, and with an attack of 5. I'm feeling pretty good. We are, though, at the end of the afternoon, so now it's becoming the evening. And these could get to be bad news cards, at least 2 of them. I mean, the other ones are all generic, but there's the 2 specific John Frost ones, and I think there's some pretty bad ones in there. So hopefully we can find a way to take out John Frost. We did just lose our +5 attack, but I'm hoping that with shuffling and putting cards back in, I mean, look at the Rincon Labs, we're going to get a bunch of new cards in there. So we'll see. Let's see what we can do. Well, I've been playing at a nonchalant speed, but I'm starting to realize I'm running out of time. I've got this round, the next round, and the round after that. I think that's it. Yeah, so let's see. We'll start with our bad news. Another thug going into the streets. Oh, this guy has a range of 3. The bully moves to the streets upon reveal. While this thug is active in this location, players may not draw any cards here. And he attacks for 2 on a range of 3. He can hit. Wow. Okay, we'll put him out. Look at this. The whole top of the board is blocked off by these thugs. We've got Bob, the bully, and the bruiser just sitting out there. For this round, we'll start with Amethyst. We'll go ahead and move her 2 spaces. She's going to go down to the HQ. Here, she will then gather resources. What are we going to get? A Xeonite Shard. That's good. Doesn't really do anything for us now. We need one more. Oh, that's actually good. We just need one more for the Xeonite Blaster. We're then going to flip ourselves to our secret identity. So then that way we can grab a lead card. Let's see what we get. We get Hobo Herbs. Draw a Caves card if you're in that location. Oh, that's amazing. I'm going to go ahead and play this Xeonite Shard down to start powering up our Xeonite Blaster. We're going to need one more of those. Then we're going to move to Commissioner Jones. Commissioner Jones is going to go ahead and move 2. He's going to go to the Hero HQ. He'll draw a card. He's got Gloves of Xeonite. When powered by 2 Xeonite Shards, this gives +5 to a single attack. Discard the gloves after a single use, but keep the Xeonite Shards. That needs to get to Amethyst. So that's what he drew for Gather Resources. We are definitely going to turn into into our secret identity. During the pass Populate Supplies, we're going to go ahead and give this to Delphi, because Delphi will be able to give that to Amethyst. Finally, it's Delphi's turn. We're going to go ahead and stay where we are. We are going to draw a card, but because we have those X-ray specs, we're going to draw the bottom card because we know it's the Dark Energy Lance, because there's only one card in the discard pile that was a Rincon Labs card, so that will go into our hand. It requires 2 scientists. Well, guess what? Amethyst has 2 scientists sitting out because she just used that. That's why those X-ray specs are so awesome. We are then going to go ahead and flip ourselves into our secret identity mode, and then we are going to pass off the Dark Energy Lance and the Gloves of Xeonite over to Amethyst. And I'm realizing I totally forgot. Commissioner Jones should have drawn a lead. He gets Special Watch. Draw a Hero HQ card if you're in that location. We could have used that, but I don't think we would draw, not this round at least. And then this one is for Delphi. Report activity. Draw a police station card if you are on that location. This is actually going to end the round because we cannot be attacked, and we can't attack since we're all in secret identity. All of the sidekicks disappeared. There's these 3 thugs taking over the northern part of the city. John Frost has revealed himself, and now nobody wants to deal with him. And we can see why. Okay, so we're going to end the round. We're going to draw 2 bad news cards, but then we might have a little bit of fun with Amethyst because we have some power in our court now. Well, before starting our next round, I'm going to have to do a little bit of a retcon. This is totally my fault. I let St. Nick go to active because I did not want John Frost to activate. The problem is that sidekicks may not be in their secret identity while Nick is active. So none of us should have been able to go to our secret identity. So I totally cheated. I don't know. I don't know what would have changed. We would have lost some leads. So I know this would have affected what happened here, but I don't know how to try and retcon it right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play as is. We're going to leave the round as is. It's totally wrong. It's going to invalidate this whole game. That's fine. I'm just showing you how to play and how it's a lot of fun. You can see, look at this challenge, right? What would you do here? Maybe I should have actually taken out St. Nick instead of St. Claus. I hadn't thought about that, or Mrs. Claus. So yeah, lots of fun things to think about. I'm going to make sure now that everybody is moved. I'm actually going to flip them now to their hero modes or hero side, and they will not be able to go to the secret identity side this round. Sorry, guys. We get to draw 2 bad news cards for this round. We'll draw 1 for the round following and 2 for the round following that. Yeah, you can see I'm running out of time. John Frost has full health of 10, and he has 4 shield. All right, so we have Street Crime. Destroy the top location card of the Streets City deck. Well, that's okay. The thug's blocking it anyways. What was it? Street Informant. So that's gone. That's destroyed. And what's our second one? Destroy all Rincon Labs cards. No character may move through the Rincon Labs space. Okay, so Delphi's in that space. I think she's okay. She just can't move into that space anymore. So this Rincon Labs card, which was a scientist, is gone. Bummer. Let's go ahead and move into the sidekick phase. First thing we're going to do is it's Amethyst's turn. We're going to move. We're not going to move. We need to find another Xeonite blaster, or a Xeonite shard if we can. So then we're going to try and draw a card here. We get, when you discard this card, all sidekicks get +1 on a single attack on the very next normal attack during the combat phase. Ooh. Yeah, we're going to hold on to that so we can use that when we all try and attack John Frost. I mean, his 3 defense will still block a regular attack by anyone. So maybe it's still not worth it, but someone hitting John Frost, that might be good. We're then going to use the 2 scientists that we have out so we can play our Dark Energy Lance. This will give us +5 on an attack, which is great. So when we do want to try and hit John Frost, we can hit him hard, hopefully. Commissioner Jones is next. We're going to stay right where we're at as well. We're going to see, come on, another shard. Perfect. There's a shard. Okay, so then what we can do is during the, we have to stay in hero form. We can pass this to Delphi. No, I don't want to do that because the next, because Delphi will be able to pass it to Amethyst this round, and then Amethyst will be able to use it to power up her Xeonite blaster next round, and we can give her a +10 attack. Yeah, so we're going to pass this along with something that we shouldn't have been able to get last time, but I'm going to play with it anyways, this lead. So we're going to pass both of these to Delphi. We'll then have Delphi go ahead and move herself to the warehouse district. Unfortunately, she's in hero form. I didn't want her to be in hero form, but it is what it is. She is there. She's not able to draw a card because there's a thug there blocking that location. She is going to go ahead and find the energy bands of Gog. One sidekick must discard 8 leads. Now, I got some of these by cheating, so I feel kind of bad about that, you guys, but it is what it is. We've got 8 leads to go ahead and find this. So let's go ahead and flip it. These are, this sidekick may wear the energy bands of Gog. He or she gets +3 to attack. The bands have only 4 uses per game. Rotate this card 90 degrees after each use. The bands will be fully recharged at the end of a comic book issue or scenario. Cool. So yeah, we found these. Adding that +3 attack. Oh, if I can get that to Amethyst, that will be amazing. I almost forgot, you guys. The whole reason we gave this Xeonite shard from Commissioner Jones was so that Delphi could give that to Amethyst. So during the populate supply lines, we provided that over to Amethyst. So Amethyst now has 2 of those shards. Now we're going to move into the combat phase. We're going to go ahead and have Delphi hack attack this Bob. Bob has no defense to that. He has no idea what a computer even is. All of a sudden, all these people are trying to contact him. I think that's the most, wait. Okay, so if he's like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the worst right here. He has no idea why all of a sudden all of his bills aren't being paid. He's got all these people coming at him, so he's having to deal with that instead of trying to mess up the warehouse district and instead of attacking Delphi. But now we're going to go into the combat phase, and not the villain part of the combat phase. This bully over here who has a range of 3, he's opportunistic, so he's going to go for the closest SOI first. That is going to be Delphi, so he's going to attack Delphi for 2, and Delphi has no defense, so she'll go from 2 damage to 4 damage. Saint Nick here is going to attack for 5 at a range of 1, and he is opportunistic as well, so within range 1, both Commissioner Jones and Amethyst are there. He is going to attack the one that is highest on the sidekick of interest, which is Amethyst. So he attacks for 5. She has a shield of 1 for 4, a shield of 1 to reduce the damage to 4. So her total damage that she's taken is 9 now. She'll only have 3 health left. At the end of the round, the thug is just going to start paying off his bills again, wondering what the heck happened to his computer, but he's still got 2 more rounds that he's going to be in disarray. I'm going to have to do some thinking, you guys, but I might be able to do this. Cheating aside, I might still be able to do this. I should be able to power up my Xeonite blaster this round. So that would mean that Amethyst will be attacking for a total of 10. Yeah, that's right. 10 damage with both of those, plus her regular 2, so that's 12. She can reduce John Frost's shield by 2, so it's only 1, so that's 9 damage. And then she's got that card that adds +1 to all of the sidekick's attacks. That might be just enough to be able to beat him. The thing is, she only has 2 or 3 health left, so I got to make sure that another person gets attacked, not her, otherwise she's gone. You also may have noticed that last round I didn't have John Frost attack. That's because St. Nick was active. That's why this next round I've got to make sure that Delphi takes care of St. Nick, makes him so he does not defend John Frost, so we can have Amethyst attack him. We'll start that bad news phase. We'll reveal our card. Hero HQ attack. Destroy 3 location cards from the top of the Hero HQ deck. This does not happen if the force field heroic item is still active. I'm assuming, is this active? No, the force field is deactivated. So we deactivated to go in there. So yeah, we're going to have to do this. It says here, each sidekick may discard cards to reduce this destruction by 1. The discards of sidekicks with a hack attack of 3+ reduce this destruction by 2. Yeah, so Delphi has a hack attack of 3+, so I'll go ahead and discard this Dark Energy Cloak, because that's really not going to do anything for us. That's going to reduce it by 2. And then what does Amethyst have that we won't need? We don't need a Hobo Herb, so let's discard that. And so we prevented that in total. Great. Starting off with Amethyst, we'll go ahead and move ourselves to the suburbs so that we're within range 1 of where John Frost is. Because remember, he's in this location that we can't even go to. If we didn't have range, we wouldn't even be able to defeat him, I don't think. Because how would we attack him? We can't even go into the Rincon Labs where he is. We'll go ahead and gather our resources. Deep Learning. Look at the next 3 bad news cards and reorganize them. Yeah, not really that helpful. We're definitely staying in our hero phase or our hero form. We are not going to pass anything, but we are going to play some cards. We're going to play Sensor Analysis first. When you discard this card, all sidekicks get +1 on a single attack the very next normal attack phase. Great. I'm going to put that by the bad news so we remember. Research. On any villain, and so we're going to do it on John Frost as the villain, we can reduce any stat by 2 other than hit points to a minimum of 0. So we're going to reduce his defense from 3 down to 1. Discard this card at the end of the combat phase. So this, I'll just put this here to remind us that he is a 1 instead of a 3. We have 1 Xeonite Blaster and 1 Xeonite Shard here. We're going to go ahead and play the second Xeonite Shard, so we have now powered up our Blaster. And actually, what I think we're going to do, just because I believe we can once per round switch to where those Xeonite Shards are. So we're actually going to put them on the gloves of Xeonite, because the gloves, we'll have to discard the gloves after the attack, and then we can charge this up next time and then discard the shards and keep the blaster. It's kind of fun. Commissioner Jones is also going to do the same thing. He's going to come into here, move into the suburbs, draw this card. He's got a back door. When drawing from any city deck, you may choose the bottom card instead of the top, which is kind of cool, especially now that I understand how all that works. When you shuffle the cards and put them on the bottom, you can kind of know what's going to be there. Instead of doing any sort of playing of cards, all we're going to do is push ourselves up to the top of the SOI. I only have 4 damage out of a total of 20 health, because 2 of that damage comes from our initial starting damage, so we can definitely take an attack from John Frost. Finally, for Delphi's turn, we'll go ahead and move ourselves down to the caves. We're going to reveal a card, and we have proof of P equals NP. Requires 1 scientist, add +1 on hack attacks and hack defense. That would have been a way we could have actually hacked John, because our hack would have been up to 5. Wow, that's cool. That is super cool that there's actually a way to do that. I didn't think there would be. Let's go ahead and move to the combat phase. First thing we're going to do is use Delphi for her hack attack. She's going to hack for 4. -1 is 3. 1, 2, 3. Poor old St. Nick is having all those kids coming to his house again. Maybe this time it's adults. Who knows? So now John is not defended. That does mean, though, that John is going to attack, and he's vengeful. So he's going to attack Commissioner Jones, because it has to be within a range of 2. That's everywhere on the board. Everywhere on the board is within range 2. So he's going to attack Commissioner Jones for a total of 7 damage. Commissioner Jones only has 1 defense, so he'll take 6 points of damage. 7 damage plus the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He has 11, but he has a total of 20. So he's okay. He could even take another hit from John. That's how hardy he is. That's his awesome hardy ability here. So now we get to find out if I did my math right. So we are going to now do an attack. Our attack with Amethyst starts with 2, plus the 1 because of the one-shot sensor analysis, so we're attacking for 3. Then we're going to use the Gloves of Xeonite. That's adding 5, so that's 8. Then we're going to use our Dark Lance here. That adds another 5. That's a total of 13. 13 minus the 1 shield is 12. We beat them. Now, it's totally caveated by the fact that I should have had people in hero form that one round. But yeah, that was still a lot of fun, you guys. It is a tough puzzle. I found when I played it solo the first time, or the time before this, before actually recording, I wasn't enjoying it as much because, well, first of all, I didn't have those hidden items, and so I was feeling like I didn't know where to go or what to do. Once you start learning what's in those location decks and how to manipulate them, oh man, it is a really, really fun puzzle. And it feels like a challenge, but it also feels like you always have the potential of being able to succeed. So I don't know. I think we might have been able to still win even without cheating that one round, other than the fact that we'd have to soak an attack of 5 damage. Someone would have been able to take another 5 points of damage, which could have been Commissioner Jones. But yeah, regardless, what we would do at the end of this is we would read something after this, and it would tell us what we would get for winning. I'm not going to do that here because I'm not going to count that as a win. I don't want to know because now I'm going to play this again on my own and actually win it because I hadn't yet. And now I kind of know what to expect. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much, Richard, for sending me a copy. I really enjoyed it. I'm excited. There are 6 issues in the game, so I get to play 6 different missions, and then after that, I've got a scenario book that I can use. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of replayability in this game. So thank you all so much for watching. I will see you at the next stop.